Okay, take two. Take one was way too long-winded. Nick and Megumi are still in town. They came in from Yokohama to visit. They're down south at Festival Gate right now, going to the carnival in this tremendous heat that is just miserable. I'm sticking around here to get some things done. Gotten a few things done this morning. Fixing the vacuum cleaner. Had corroded connections. The handle is actually remote control, even though the handle is connected to the rest of the vacuum cleaner, which is confusing, interesting. I guess it works. But the batteries had never been changed. They were the original Hitachi batteries inside, and they had corroded the connections. So, fix that. And I have an air conditioner. It's glorious. Takes up a lot of space in the patio here, but still good sitting space, so I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I have cold air inside. Let's see here. Not yesterday, but the day before, Nick and Megumi and I went to a food carnival in Dotonbori, and it wasn't bad. Food was okay, same stuff you find on the streets. Cool parts, I ran into one of my students who I really like. One of my favorite students, really cool, was just in there in the same area. I just kind of, she was surprised to see me, I was surprised to see her, said hi. And she had to, of course, take a picture with me with her cell phone, get it out. I saw Whitney. It was cool to see her again. Some of those students I'm really going to miss. Anyways, we were going to see a show. We saw part of it, and it was really boring. It was this kind of drama and people flying on wires. Not that good. But there was also a magic bar in there. A little more pricey. It was 2,000 yen to go in, 800 yen for a drink, so spending quite a bit to go in. But the three of us got a close-up magic show. It was like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. All sorts of illusions and mentalism things, mostly with cards. And the guy who did it was very good. There was another guy who was in there who was practicing with coins, and they're having a little magic face-off recently. And you know, they have that one, and they have another trick bar downtown that's the same price, the same kind of thing. So the first guy did all his tricks, and he was pretty good. And the second guy, I started asking him about his coin tricks, and next thing you know, he was just showing us parts of his routine, and we got an extra 10-15 minute show out of it, which was really cool. A great guy too. And a couple interesting things happened during the show. I could tell how some of the tricks were done, but not all of them, which I like. I'm glad that some of them are still just, I can't figure out how to do that. But I can do a fair amount of those. And one thing that came up was this guy was shuffling through a deck of cards really quickly and had Megumi tell him when to stop, and he stopped at a card, showed her the card. It was the Jack of Hearts. And he, puts the deck down, spreads the deck out. Jack of Hearts is missing, tells her to look for the card, and she can't find it. He says, "Where is it?" And he's about to do his little, the prestige of the trick where he shows off that it's actually across the room. And at that point, I pull out my wallet, and I carry a Jack of Hearts in my wallet in the place where you usually put an ID. He was kind of flabbergasted by that. Stole the thunder for his trick. Really surprised Nick and Megumi too. But he got a kick out of that. So then the other guy who was doing coins, and talked with him a bit, and I said that they mentioned that I do some magic, and so I did a couple little quick vanishes, and they were politely impressed. Friendly guys. They want to keep you as a good customer. But they got a kick out of it. So I was also talking with the guy about his coin vanishes, and I kind of motioned to him. I was like, "So you make it disappear like this," and he smiled at me and turned sideways and showed me how he did it. So it was one of those little, Nick and Megumi didn't notice, but it was a polite little amateur magician to more professional magician thing where he went, "Yeah, this is how you do it." And I didn't know the word for apprentice in Japanese, but it was just like, I want to come hang out with you guys. And I said apprentice in English, and they didn't understand that. But the guy who showed me the coin trick was just like, "Yeah, stop by, show me some tricks, I'll show you some tricks." kind of we can show each other some tricks sometime. So, and that's this is from their Magic and Bar, this place here, and it was this guy who was showing us coin tricks. So that was really cool. Other things that have happened yesterday, we went to the aquarium, which is really cool. It was worth not too bad of a wait to get in. Great to see. Really packed, but still good to see still plenty of room to get in and see everything. So it worked out just fine. Summer holidays, all sorts of kids in there. And then on the way back, at the train station, this girl with her mother and her brother asked me a question about train tickets, and I helped them out. She spoke English, but her brother and her mother didn't, and I figured they were European, but I couldn't figure out where from. And then they asked me directions again on the train, and then they asked me directions again in the train stations. And we changed at the same station. We were going to the same station, so I got to talking with them for a bit, and they're actually from Spain. And there are a couple songs out there about girls with Spanish eyes. This girl had incredible eyes. They were mesmerizing. And she was also a really nice girl. And I talked with them for a little bit. I was actually going to check an email at that point too, which I'll get to in a second. I got an important email. But Nick and Megumi went off to do some shopping, and I was helping them out and going to go check email. And we talked for about 10 minutes or so, and kind of became friends that quickly. And her mother said to her, as I said, "Oh, I got to go this way," her mother's like, "Give him your number." In case he comes to Spain. I had said that at some point I do want to go to Spain. I'm thinking that's going to have to be sooner now, because I have friends in Barcelona now. So she gave me her number and her email address, and then she kissed me on both cheeks, which is, very common in Spain, and something I would, not be surprised at all by in Europe. But in the middle of Japan, I just didn't have the right mindset for that. Kind of came up unexpectedly, but it was still cool. Not that it's all that special. I got just as much play from her mother. And then her brother shook my hand. But they were like, seriously, next time you come, next time you're in the area, come to Spain, come visit, hang out. So, gonna have to do that. Goodness, more travel. Yeah. So, back to work type stuff. Gotta run some errands and find the form that I can actually print out to write down or to do the Japanese job application, or Japanese resume. Japanese style resume is a pain. Okay,